Hey, how are you doing? I can't tell.
Oh, you mix the stuff down. You mix all this stuff that's in there. It's this powdery thin set. You mix it with water. You mix it up in a jug. You put it on the ground with this thing. You put it on the ground with this, and then you put the tile down and it sticks to the floor. It's easy. That's all you do. That's how you put real professional tile floor, and then you try to match it up so it's like exact. So you try to get it exact, and it kind of matches up to these lines right here. They're already on the floor. You make sure the floor is perfect. You have to really clean the floor and get it perfectly flat. Perfectly flat. Scrape up pieces, everything, that you have to do in order to make sure the floor is perfectly flat. This floor is a cement floor, and that's. Oh, she's gonna. Well, hey, you learned how to do tile, Alana, or you can tell your parents you learned how to tile floors. You put you mix water and thin set. You put it on with a trowel, and you just stick it to the floor. That's easy. You have to make sure the floor is really flat and solid and sturdy and strong. You have to get the floor all ready, and you put it on with this trowel. That's how you tile floor. And hey, I'm doing it on my birthday, actually. Today's my birthday. Okay. And that's a phone from when I was a little kid. And I think I wrote that on there when I was a little kid. This was an older phone. It was actually older for back then. And this says hello on it. Hey, thanks. This is hello. I think I wrote that when I was a little kid. But this is gonna be a new. Yeah, that's good. That's good, Alana or Elena, however you pronounce that. And then I don't know what this other stuff is. I don't know what it is. It's just different stuff. And then you have to make sure the edges are ready. I had to take this piece of wood off here very carefully and clean it because it was dirty. And this may be painted over, or we could just put new ones of it. And have to decide on that. And you take those off the edges, and all you do is pry it off with whatever you can, a screwdriver or something that fits in there that's not going to break, like this ruler would break if you tried to do it. And you fit something in there and you pry that stuff off the edge very carefully not to break it. And this is only for adults. And then you can put this tile right up to here and see it would go like along there. And once you put that stuff on, you mix this, but see, this isn't enough. This isn't enough. It's got to be like a peanut, but this is too watery. This is too watery. It has to be like a peanut butter, like a smooth peanut butter. And so I'm going to add more of this cement. And this is how to tile. Might as well go live on here for a while. And this is how to tile a floor. Oh my gosh. Well, let me see if I can put this. Oh, there's something. I haven't been working out for 2 weeks. It's the longest I've gone without working out haven't been working out for 2 weeks. I was visiting my children, and I guess I'm in somewhat good shape or whatever. But that's the longest I haven't worked out in years. Even when I was heavy, I tried to at least work out, do weights or something once a week, or push-ups or something. And that keeps you in somewhat good shape, at least to do it once, just whenever you're not hurting yourself. And oh my gosh. But little kids don't have to work out at all. You could kind of get exercise or something, and just riding your bike or whatever that is, and that you do that's fun, and you have to go to school and stuff too, or do work like at school for school when you're little and stuff like that. Your parents tell you to do. That's up to your parents. But this is for everybody, adults and stuff. So, okay. And I'm trying to figure out a way to put the phone so you can see the bucket being stirred. Okay. And you just mix it. Oh, you can't see my head. It's, oh. Put it over here. Oh, man. I'm just wearing whatever I had on that was comfortable today. I didn't feel like dressing a certain way. It's kind of hot outside, so I just dressed like this. And you mix the stuff until you get it just right. You have to keep sitting here mixing it a long time. And this is called the thin set. And, whoa. And you just pour this stuff in. You gotta get it just right. You don't wanna put too much or you'll have to keep adding water and then go back and add the mix and stuff like that. You wanna get it just right. Don't do too much, because then it could be too thick. You gotta do it little by little until you get it just right. You don't wanna breathe that in. And this is for adults only to do. So, unless you wanna help an adult, unless you want to do this with an adult, you could learn how to tile floors. It's a cool thing. Mostly adults do it. Oh. But it's for adults. But you can kind of see how to do it. Oh my gosh, and if you want to watch videos on my children, Rowan and Ivan, there's a new video up. A new video of them and some other, all sorts of videos with Rowan and Ivan. There's a playlist on my page. There's a playlist on my page. It says it's called Rowan and Ivan. It has pictures of them. And if you find that, that has all my videos of Rowan and Ivan. If you're a kid, you can watch all sorts of Rowan and Ivan videos. Some I have a whole music video starring Ivan. A short film that Rowan directed called Devil Kills Monster. And, you know, it's an innocent one. It's like it's nothing against or for, nothing, it's not like for the devil or something. It's just like it's a good one. And, just for entertainment. And, wow, this stuff is mixing pretty good. This stuff is mixing pretty good. And yeah, there's all sorts of other videos. Wait a second. Who else? Is there any adult? Somebody called me on the other line. I didn't have it in airplane mode. Oh gosh. And this is, you got to get it just right, and you keep mixing. That's about like a smooth peanut butter consistency, but you got to get all this tiny little stuff out of it till it does it just right. And I'll show you how to tile the floor, put the tile on or whatever. Oh, it's an old trash can, or new. It's an old trash can, it doesn't matter. All right. All right. I'm just gonna put this back here. Okay. Oh, I haven't been working out very much. Oh, and I could barely walk after I finished all this tile yesterday. I like, oh man, it put a stress on me and stuff. I had to just rest. I didn't know how I'd do it again today, but I felt okay again by the end of the afternoon yesterday and okay today. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go tile on my birthday. So yeah, I have to do it. So it's not, I'm not like super excited about it, but I'm kind of excited and happy about it because I get to get money for doing it. My own money in a way, but I'm getting someone to, it's a long story, but I'm getting money for it from somebody else, sort of. but it's really my own money, so I'm making money on it. So here I am on my birthday doing tile. Yeah, today I've already taken the stuff off the edges. I came here early in the morning, like at 7 something. I drove over here, or 8 something in the morning. And that's what you gotta do sometimes, go to work, and it's no big deal. And it's fun. And you learn how, I'm gonna teach you how to do tile if you feel like doing your own. This is cool looking tile. I think I mixed that, yeah, that's mixed. Let me just make sure you gotta get every little clump out of it. This stuff or whatever, you just mix the thin set. I don't know what the heck else you even do. You could listen to music or whatever, country music or whatever. I mean, which surprisingly enough, even though I'm Italian, I did go through a phase where I listened to country music. It just depends on stuff like that. And here's a music player, but I'm not gonna put it on YouTube unless I have a CD in here that, I don't know. And I went for a long time with hardly listening to any music doing this type of work, but I still haven't worked as much as at paid jobs as much as many people my age. I've worked jobs that paid, but not like a super amount compared to how other people have to do sometimes. So that's it, you just mix this, it's about done, it's done, or whatever I think is the right thing for this. You use your own judgment. And hey, that's it. You put on shoes that can get messed up or look cooler with, like, because, you know, this had, I don't know, this could be a style or something or whatever, but it's no big deal. It doesn't even, the shoes do not matter as long as they're safe. And then you mix this up. There might be little clumps of stuff in there, but you can't really get every little clump out unless you have an electric mixer thing. So that's pretty good. And you get the rest of the clumps out when you're using this trowel and scraping it and getting it just right. And that's what we're gonna do right here. Okay. I'll show you how to put it on, then you'll be able to tile your own floors or whatever, and it's just and usually I don't admit to being like old. Oh, it took me up until days before my 40th birthday, which is today, and you may not be able to tell it, but sometimes I look my age or older. Just depends. Like, you probably can't really tell here, but 40 years old. And but I'm afraid to act like I don't know, you know, I'm Italian, so I don't know how that, you know, actually Sicilian, which is darker, which is near Africa. So, I mean, that's Sicilian, and that's in Europe. So I don't have any qualms with, you know, standing up for black people. I don't think there's anything wrong with it because it's not against the law. So that's how I feel. Yeah. And you're allowed to do that in America. So you can do whatever you want as long as you follow the law, and I suggest to be good to other human beings. So that's pretty much it that you have to do on Earth, I'd say. Poor connection, it said. And you know, you have obligations to also work and pay for your bills and all sorts of intricate details. But if you were to sum up with what I think the meaning of life is, after I've studied philosophy and all sorts of questioning of reality and everything that I could imagine within the limits of the law, because I don't try to expand my mind, quote unquote, like those people that do illegal drugs think it's awful. You know, I mean, I can't imagine having to break the law like that or damage your own brain. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion of that stuff. And that's, you know, I don't see the point in any of that. It's people use it to escape their problems in life. And that's how they use caffeine and the legal stuff. And, you know, I drink caffeine now. I went through a phase where I didn't drink it, but that's like perfectly legal to do. And if you're okay with it and it doesn't hurt you, then it's not that bad. Anyway, the tile on my birthday. No. I'm fortunate. I worked very hard to have good teeth. Worked very hard to have good teeth. But, you know, if it's hurting you too much to stand up for certain political things, then, you know, do the best you can, as long as it's not going to, like, really hurt you, like, too bad, or which is not going to ever happen. You know, you might get water pouring on you or something in a sink. I would assume if you're over here in America, not much bad happens, but we have to deal with all sorts of other horrible problems, you know, death and disease and all sorts of bad things. That's not necessarily like the other countries, but, yeah. Okay, but, oh man. And here's the tile. This is a cool tile. This is like a cool tile. This is actually like an Italian cool one or something that my mom got that she liked. And this is her house. I'm doing the tile for them, and I had to carry all these boxes with a couple other people or so. I started doing it all myself. I loaded it up in a U-Haul and brought it here. And I made $70 that day. Rented a whole U-Haul, and no, it's a joke. It's I don't want to tell you how much I technically made. You know, somebody may sign a piece of paper, co-sign a piece of paper for me to do something else or something that's totally unrelated. It's not really work. This is just family. This is really just doing this for family. So it's like work, but it's not work. It's not really work. So, okay, but we have a perfect balance of that stuff. You're legally allowed to help a family member out who needs help on a real estate project, or a friend who is helping for free, I believe, but you'd have to look up the laws yourself and see how that's done, because it has to be very accurate and you have to do it the right way in a way that you're comfortable with, so you're not doing anything illegally. Oh, if you can figure that stuff out. And you should be able to. It should be easy enough for you. So, okay, that's, you know, but anyway, so there's the mix. It's got a smooth peanut butter consistency. You kind of let it sit there for a while, 10 minutes or something, and then you stir it some more. That's how they say, but, you know, as long as you get it good enough. You get a feel for it by doing it. You learn it by doing it. And that's how you do it. You actually have to do it, and then you learn it as you're doing it, and you do the best you can, and you study it before all that, like on your videos, or watch somebody else do it and learn from them or whatever. And I have not been, I've been kind of like not pushing my looks as much. And because I did that too much, I worked out and it was very selfish and stuff like that. But I think I look about the same anyway. I think overall I look about the same. I think your looks, if you want to, this is poor connection. I think your looks, if you want to tip on, how to appear more like, it's really just about your confidence. I think your looks don't have as much to do with it. And I actually think from a personal experience I've had in my family and other families that you can learn. I think it may be possible to change this is really going out on a limb to say something like this, but I think it may be possible to learn some formerly thought of genetic things. It's so complicated. I'm trying to put it into words. I think you can learn things that people once thought were only inherited genetically, because my father or someone else may have grown to a height that his father was at, a very tall person, when all of his other brothers were shorter, that were raised by different people in a different, in Ireland or something, or I don't know where, but I know for a fact this person that was raised and adopted by a new family, and the father was tall, like taller than most people, and the son that was adopted by him and raised by him and learned his way of thought, his way of behaving, his way of earning money, his way of being kind to others and everything, he grew to a tall height. So I think it could be somewhat related to the amount of confidence that an individual has about themselves, and the direct connection between one's mind or brain and their physical body. So that's my perception as a perfectly coherent person with too much schooling, I would say, for the average person's desire or need for education. I have like an almost too much I would say amount of school, to put in layman's or child's terms, which is actually kind of lowering my level of education in my semantics and vocabulary and everything to translate to as many people as possible, to be kind to others and not just be a selfish person who's acting like I'm something special or more than average because I have like more degrees, which would be awful because I don't want to be somebody like that. So, okay, well, hey, so anyway, that's the tile right there, and okay, so here's how you put it down. Okay, you mix the thin set with the water, and you just mix it all, and then you put it down over here or whatever, and it's pretty straightforward, but if you actually want to learn how to do it, I'll show you right now. Okay. For the people who may not be interested, they'd be like, hey, why am I having to learn tile or something? And so if you want to learn it, I'd say this is it. It's simple. You mix that stuff with water. You get it like a smooth peanut butter consistency is what they say. And I mean, you get it down here or whatever you prefer to do that's within the legal limits of doing some, I don't know why I went into all that off on a tangent, but I just felt like it with all that stuff I was talking about before. Here's how you do the tile. Let me put the camera down. All right. I haven't even been lifting any weights or any of that. I have not lifted weights for 2 weeks. See if I look any strong. see if I look any strong, man. My birthday. Ow, wait. I don't think that could hurt you. Wait, don't do that. Don't do that. I've never slapped myself that hard in my life. And I don't know if, oh, that's awful. That's so weak. Okay. I've just been standing up for my family and stuff. I haven't been being as selfish and trying to get all these abs and all that. But maybe my children are watching. So this is on my birthday, and just gonna show you how to do the tile. If I can find somewhere to set the camera up without a tripod. Okay. Oh man. All right. Okay. Oh man. Okay. So here's what you do. You get this trowel and you dip it into the bucket, or you can pour it. You can pour it right on the ground. You can just pour all this stuff out. And oh my gosh. You just pour it out in the ground. And then you really got to get to work. I'll save some in the bucket. Then you got to get it just right. You got to get it just right. Chris Hofer, what type of stick is this? A stick. Wait. I wonder if he's watching it. Okay. A stick. A something stick. I don't know. Just a stick. It doesn't mean anything bad. Okay. Oh man. Alright, and you put this stuff on. Oh my gosh. And then you really have to get to work. Oh my gosh. To get it just right. And oh my gosh. And you really have to this is like having to do work. And you get it just right. Oh man, you try not to let it, and you try to not scrape, you don't scrape this edge, see, you don't let it touch the ground really hard. You can, but then you got to go back over and leave some under it, leave some of the peanut buttery stuff under it, and it makes these. I'll show you once I put it on, I'll show you what I'm doing. You gotta actually put this on here. Okay, here's how you do it. You go like this, you put this stuff on, and then these clumps, there's actually some clumps in it. You try to flatten out, get rid of those clumps as you're doing it. And this is just how you actually tile floor. And oh man, and you get these clumps out, and I don't know how you would do this, but this is like the tile, and I suggest doing it this way. I think you'd do a good job if you did your own tile or whatever you want to do, or hire somebody if you think, but this is how you do the tile. You get it on here, you get it right up to the edge. Oh. Oh my gosh. And you got to get it like, this is kind of, if you just watch, you get an idea of how to do it. This is an idea of how to do it. Because once you do all these, you have to wipe it all off exactly on the edge so it doesn't dry. And then you do the next type, and it's got to go right up to it. The hardest part, I guess, would be this, like getting it up to the edge. and this is this. And you don't want it in here too much because you have to leave that crack just right. And so you kind of wipe that off. You might need a rag, or I might have to wipe it on my shirt. It's not the newest shirt. And this stuff, if you get it on your shirt, actually this is water soluble mostly. So if you get it on your clothes, it kind of washes off. And I'm gonna try to make this a little thicker. I think I put it on too thin. And you leave it kind of like that, and you really have to. Okay, this is just how you do it, and you kind of watch. And this is just how you do it. The tile, and you make sure it doesn't go in that edge too much, because that has to be. You have to put grout in there later. Oh, and then it's not always easy, but you can make it fun. And there, I got that one. And then this one, the other ones are pretty easy. They're not as, these are kind of, so you just do this, and oh my gosh, oh man, and, oh, sorry, there's that, and then you just get it to there. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh. And then that's how you tile. You got to get it like just right, or it's. And okay, and then these are just some old shoes I've had for a couple years that I might have to throw away or something. And but I'll keep them as long as I can because I think they look kind of cool, and I don't think it's hurting anyone to. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the. I don't think there's anything wrong with the shoes if you think they look, whatever they make you happy, if they're a little older or whatever. Sometimes they try to make things worn out on purpose so they look cool, like acid wash jeans. And I don't know, those are pretty cool. Yeah, man, they're pretty cool acid wash jeans. I mean it. I'm not mean about it either. I'm nice. Okay, and so oh my gosh, and you get this like that. That's how you did. This is pretty much it. You don't need to do too much or anything. You just get this out of there, and then out of here is what some people say is a joke, but I don't. If they're tired of doing it, they just want to leave. But then I would suggest, it's almost done, and then just do this, get this as best as you can, and do all this, and then the rest of it's good. And I'm just gonna put it down. I'm just gonna put the rest of it down, and yeah, this is not the easiest sometimes, but I'm doing it the best I can. It's a lot easier than having a fight in a war, which I'm very fortunate I haven't had to, but I respect those who do very much. And who have had to fight to make sure that peace is there in their country, especially America, of course, because I live here, but other countries as well. Oh man, and my sister's actually, she's in the army, my older sister. And some people have it even harder that didn't have to fight overseas or be stationed overseas, or, but I respect the military a lot. And oh man, and I also respect art, film, music in a different way, a totally different way, because that's just kind of like the icing on the cake sometimes. But fortunately, we live in a country hopefully you live in a country too, where you can appreciate art film and music, and most countries you can. Thank goodness, I believe, but America's we're fortunate, but I don't really sold any other countries. And then you just get this seat. This is going pretty good. This is, I don't know. There might be somebody from India watching. I know somebody from India, a few people from India. They talk like this, kind of, if they have an American English vocabulary. And they say these, and they talk like this from India. Hey! And India's okay, I guess. I mean, I don't know what you'd say publicly for or against them, but I don't think they do anything wrong. They seem like, I mean, I don't know what they seem to be an ally of America or friends with America. They seem to be friends with America. It seems very peaceful over there, but every country has a military. Almost every single country. There's some that, very few that don't, but they're like protected by the other countries and stuff. I wish we could, have world peace, but that's just we're not there yet. We're not even near there yet. So this is down pretty good. Now I've got to. I don't. So the army and the military is something necessary, and this is how you do the tile. This is what the video is actually about. You get this grout down as perfectly as you can. Not grout. I'm sorry. It's a thin set. You mix this with the water. Mix it up like a smooth peanut butter consistency. Put it on with the trowel. It makes these little devils. What these things, whatever those are. It doesn't matter that much. And what those are called. And then you put this on. You don't get any little pieces of dried up stuff in it. If this isn't dry, fortunately. And then if it dries later, it doesn't matter because it'll be like you can wipe it off or sweep it. And then now we got to put the tile down on it. Now we got to put the tile down on it. Okay. And then that'll be it once you put the tile down on it. Okay. Oh man. Here's the tile, and you want to match it up like perfectly, and you really got to match it up like as best as you can, and you can do it by eye, but only some people do it by eye. A lot of people use these spacers, these little pieces of plastic that go in between the tiles to make sure they have enough space. But I'm having to do it very particular to get it just right. You want to make sure there's no weird pieces in it. It has to be exact. And there's some lines over there in the floor that I can visually match up to it. And the way that the existing lines were on this floor happens to be a certain way. And I'm not in a tile union, but I've learned better how to tile since the last how to tile video I made. And I got that piece down. That's solid on there. It creates a suction, and it sticks with those little the lines that it makes, and it goes down and sticks like a suction a little bit. And I'm not the best tile expert in the world, but and I haven't even really eaten much food today, but I'm okay. It doesn't. I don't know, but you know, with the health and fitness stuff, it's just I was going to become a personal trainer, and I was like, well, my family's more important right now. I got to spend some quality time with my family, and I don't know why. It's like It's like I'm trying not to be as selfish and into just. I don't even know, like, what else there is besides being kind to others at sometimes, because health is the number one there's a study done by Dale Carnegie that says health is the number one interest of all human beings in America. The second interest is people, their relationships with people. So he built his wealth and his whatever he accrued in life. You know, he didn't do anything bad. Apparently, he just wanted to help others, and his idea was to be kind to others in business, and to be kind to other human beings. And he made people oriented. A very selfish type of thing would be the number one interest that human beings have in their own health, or less selfish in others is health. So that's the primary concern with most human beings is health, according to Dale Carnegie's study he did in the early 20th century, which would be like the 1930s or something like that when he did that study. And he made millions of dollars, and back then, I believe. And he made it based on people relations, which was he found to be the second most important to anyone. And then the first most important thing to everyone is health, because they want to be healthy and they don't want to be hurt or injured. And so I started going after the number one. I started doing health and fitness because I started doing that recently, but it was the wrong thing. It was too selfish. So now I have to be there for family. This is why I'm helping my parents tile this floor, and I was there for my children because I found, it was so empty and terrible feeling just going after the selfish things that I was after. If you look back on my videos from a week or two ago, they're kind of more selfish. And that's the wrong way. There for family, which is really the first most important thing, is the people in your life and how you interact with people. That's truly the most important, even though people may not be aware of it and they think it's their health. But also your own health is very incredibly important. So depending on how you interpret that, those are very important. Being kind enough to yourself to be in good health, and being there for other loved ones to make sure they're in good health and okay, and you're okay, and you're good to one another. I believe that's what it's mostly about. And working, you gotta work or go to school and do something productive. So, all right. Oh, man. Oh, this one has a big crack in it. A little crack. Compared to it has a crack in it. Oh, this one has a little crack. This one has a little crack. But see, that's drying. That happens to be drying. Somehow that worked out. And so, for one reason or another, that all works out is the plan too. Oh gosh. Oh man. And so if you have any misconceptions in your life about this or that, it's good to just rethink things here and there and say, oh man, did I hurt anyone? Did I assume wrongly about a person being bad? When, anything like that. And then you have to kind of be kind to others. If you think maybe if you just have an inkling like, wait a second, that's my friend, and you got to be nice to him, and then you got to do that, or your family, and then you have to kind of be there for people, and they're more important than your, whatever people think is their selfish thing that they want to do so much. And sometimes you got to just go do those selfish things because you need to be kind to yourself and do what makes you happy. And but that's not usually what it's all about. And usually in this case, I'd say it's about being there for the others, your loved ones who may need you. Your selflessness, or your somewhat of it, not complete selflessness. I would just say not being selfish. And so I'm putting this tile down here, and I put this piece, that piece, and that piece. I've got to get that exactly right. And you just put them down till you get it right. I'm doing all these tiles, not, literally, and, man, and then, those will be the pieces that are cut for the edges, those ones that have slight imperfections in them. Oh my gosh. And this has to be like perfect somehow. It doesn't. Wait. Why? Oh. I feel like Chuck Norris here, like doing a stretch. Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. Oh, wait. Chuck Norris. Oh, he's an excellent martial artist. I did a video questioning if he was gay or not, but I don't think you could look up Chuck Norris and my name, or gay, Chuck Norris gay, it may show up. I don't know, but he's not, I don't think he's gay. I think he's very comfortable with his sexuality, and so he can get very close to other men and do like stretches or something, and for him it's normal. And I don't know, I mean, that's his own preference if he's gay or not. It doesn't bother me. And I think he's straight. I think he's straight, but he's an excellent martial artist. And I hate to say anything negative one way or another, but I did question if he was gay or straight based on some of his physical movements. But that's unimportant. That was just for entertainment value. It doesn't. I think he's not gay. But in the video, I didn't assume one way or another. I just questioned what the audience thought. Holy mackerel! This has to be done like really well, or that's the perfect English saying. It has to be done really well. But then recently, some people say it has to be done good, but that's not tradition. I don't think that stuff matters that much. It's such a small semantic difference. Semantic means semantic means the words that you choose to use. Man. Alright, I'm just doing the tile. I'm not trying to comment one way or another about Chuck Norris's sexuality. Which he's probably straight, but we don't, because he has a child. He has a son. This has to be matched up really, really perfectly. I mean, I don't know. Oh, and I haven't even worked out in 2 weeks, but that's why when I all of a sudden did this yesterday, it was kind of I wasn't expecting that. You got to get it just right. so it's perfectly flat and it doesn't have any, doesn't do this or something in any subtle way. It has to be stuck on there so it's not going to move. Once it dries, it stays. And then it'll stay that way for 30 years in many cases if you do it right. Oh. This is a good towel right here. These all seem good. They're all good. Okay. I said they're all good. Oh my gosh, what is that? Why is that? I gotta get that perfect. It's like, it has to be really done perfect, and you can't be cool about it or anything. It's like, you just have to do the good job like any way you possibly can, unless it's like, sometimes, like, sometimes you might look weird as anything doing it, or it's like you can't even think about your looks and you just have to work. And this is kind of like just helping a family member, but they were helping me in some different way, and some maybe unrelated, but I don't know. But I'm sort of getting paid to do something, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was for. So for legal reasons, I don't know how people do the real estate pay in each state, but it is not, I'd say across America, it may not be perfectly by the book, and no one follows the law perfectly by the book. I followed, I'd say, it's very difficult, but I have to like follow the law way better than almost anyone. I just come from a family there's a police officer in my family, my grandfather. So for some reason, I think that caused something where when I was younger, I could kind of do whatever I felt like and nothing would happen to me. And then when I became an adult, I realized, oh my gosh, I had to, really watch what I was doing and be respectful of the law. That was just when I was a child, but I didn't really do anything that wrong. But one time I had to get, I don't know, it was, it's sort of a long story. But I'm a good person overall. And one time I did something kind of against the law, and I didn't even really get in trouble for it or anything, because like my grandfather or whatever, my parents, he used to live in my city, my grandfather, and he was on the cover of the Roanoke magazine, and he didn't even, he did much different things than that as a police officer in a different state, and he, like, I don't want to, he was just a police officer, and I had to, but since he was a police officer, I could kind of do whatever I felt like, and the other police officers would be like, oh, okay, and it didn't matter if I did something kind of almost against the law like most other people. But then I was like, oh my gosh, I have respect for my grandfather. I had to really be nice. I had to really be nice to him and follow the law perfectly, just out of respect for him because he was a police officer. So, and that's what I like to do the best, to be respectful to police and law enforcement and the government, and then I can do my art or whatever I feel like doing and work towards, things within capitalism. This is the country I happen to be born in, and it works really well. So I'm happy doing that. This type of sort of thing. And okay, and this is just tile. I'm putting the tile down, but I'm trying to get it out of the edges. Let's see. this is better than crying about it or something. It's terrible. Like, it's not that bad. But, okay. So, see right here, it did it kind of a little bit messy, but it's no big deal. I have to get this stuff out of that crack. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, man. Man, it's like fishing. You're getting you're trying to use the bait, and you got worms, and it's all sloppy, and it's in the mud, and a guppy. You're trying to get a guppy, and not really. Okay, and then you get this stuff out of there. This wipes off with water later. You can wipe that off with water because it's water soluble. All this stuff on here, and you just do it perfectly as you can, which I'm not a tile expert, but I'm doing the best that I possibly can. And you really have to work on it. You can't really joke about it. So, I'm just trying to be entertaining, unless you get good enough at it. And you know, it's fun. It's fun though. And you get these exactly as perfect as you can, which I'm trying to really do my best here, but I have to stop the video because I have to get to work on the tile or whatever. I can't make sense of anything else. I really just got to put the rest of this tile down. So I'm gonna go. Today was my birthday, and I'm doing tile and things that have nothing to do with my original dreams and aspirations. Okay, but it's out of respect for my family, and did I mention today's my birthday? And I'm putting tile in my parents' house and being nice to relatives, and okay. But sometimes that's not enough. It depends on how respectful you are when you do the thing. If you're making jokes and stuff, it's not the right thing, depending on your personal life path. And maybe I had been too much of a something or another, and maybe I'm making up for it now. Okay, well, that's the video on how to tile. I'm gonna put the rest of this down as best as I can, and you can just go tile. All you do, again, one more time, is mix the thin set in here in the bucket with, I'll have to mix that again and get to work on it. And then once you mix it all, you put it down, put it on with the trowel, stick the tile down as best as you can, and that's it. This one is done perfectly. I gotta go. I gotta go. I have to make sure it's done even more perfectly. Okay, bye. Oh man, don't show your teeth. That's terrible to people that have bad teeth. Okay, I gotta go. Click like in the video if you want. Watch more of my videos. There's all sorts of playlists on my page that you can watch all sorts of other videos, and they're very entertaining. Endless amounts of entertainment that I created from nothing except for my brain. Unless I was Charlie Sheen, I'd say Charlie Sheen. I'd say some variation of that was like, I don't know if I can joke about that, but it would be hilarious just to put into some new comedy and screenplays and just original stuff, and that's all I really want to do. But I have to do tile. Okay, bye. I have to go do tile. Okay, bye. Oh, I got it on my phone. Oh, my iPhone, my sissy boy.